Welcome back to another video on the Create mod. In the last episode, we made this giant hole that is now an infinite lava source down over yonder. And today, again, we're pushing off this build because I instead want to work on up top there, which you can see already has some stuff going on. In between episodes, the combination of all the things going into the barrel was too much. While I was AFKing this, it like overflowed and was backed up for miles. So I upgraded it a little bit. I came, if we can, down here. I just moved all of the items to go onto this belt and into this encased fan with chutes going all the way up here onto this belt, getting cut up with a knife if it's the rice plants, and then turning it into straw and rice. Eventually we'll do something here with the wheat seeds, but before that you can also see that I've laid out some blocks here that I'm actually going to change a little bit, but I want to get working on a little bit of terraforming, but mostly the actual barn that we're going to have, just so I can get started on item sorting and composting the seeds and dealing with all of the straw and stuff and rice maybe, because right now we just have an item vault and that's not helpful for anyone. Before we do that though, I had some big brains in the comments that were just like, you could just have the harvesters be on both sides and then that solves your problem immediately. So thank you. But again, we're not focused on that. We're doing a build. As you could probably tell by the thumbnail, it's going to be hopefully B-dubs inspired and less like this one. I still think this one's good, but it'll be more of like a far away type of thing. And I'd like to be able to walk you all through my thought process and what I plan on doing with it. So let's quickly lay out the new layout. I also am going to have it be at like, I think that level's good, that Y level, because we're still going to need to have all of like the mountain here go up to meet this point. And I think if it's flat the whole way, it'll look a little bit weird. So I think like a little bit of elevation change just to get up to this point, and then we should be good there. So I'm just going to use smooth stone to lay out the area because I do like the black concrete, but since I'm not doing every other block, I need to be able to build it. And black concrete right next to each other is so bizarre to look at, as you've seen from the hole, that I think smooth stone is going to be easier to kind of show you what's going on. I still don't hate the size that we have here, but I think it might be a little bit large for what we want. All right, so this is about the length that I want to go. It's smaller than the other one by quite a bit, but I think with a barn like this, it doesn't need to be super big. And if we need it to, we can kind of just add on little bits and pieces. I think the train that's going to be coming around and over here isn't going to be part of the main barn itself. It's going to be like a separate other building. So we don't need to take that into account. And then this is going to be the width of it, with each of these kind of like blocks here being wooden pillar thingies going up like this. And I think this is a good ratio. I might have to make it longer, which isn't the end of the world. I want it to be kind of longer than it is wide, and it is pretty wide. So I think we'll see once I've built up at least this front corner, see how long it is, and if it's too short that way, we can always expand it, and it won't be too big of a deal. I will want the entrance to be on this side and I guess on the other side as well, which probably means we'll need to move this entire thing, which isn't a big deal. I was expecting this to be in like one of the corners, so I think I'll move it eventually once we get the build itself in. Before we get there though, I need to get the blocks that we need. Some of them we have, spruce, dark oak. We don't have dark oak, but I don't really need that much of it. Mud, that was something I super needed. And at least we have the farming capabilities for mangrove. So these, I tested it just to make sure. These trees, super weird, like spawning thingies. They got like the weird roots that go every which way. But how is that the weirdest way to say but ever? But the saws will still cut them down, which is what we care about. I just need to turn you off. Yep, break all the things, whatever. Replace that with the mangrove propagules, and then just place, I guess, 2 down right now. And I think that's all we need to do. What we can do in the meantime is grab some terracotta, because that is the next thing I need. We, again, don't need a ton of it. It's mostly going to be mangrove, but we do need some. And I thought during this material gathering time lapse, a lot of you don't know me at all. So why not tell you a little bit about myself? But we're out of time. We have all the stuff that we need. I'm going to quickly take a little nap, and then we can get started on building. I'm first going to terraform, just get a floor, because currently it's floating on nothing. And then after that, we can actually get started. I have a boatload of dirt and not a lot of grass. So I guess we're repping dirt and hoping that it's gonna spread eventually. So we got the wand, let's get to building. Before I was so rudely interrupted, I was talking to you about who I am. So as I mentioned in like the last time lapse, I think, I am just about graduating, and by the time this video has come out, I have graduated, which is so fun. I go to RIT, and the real ones that have watched like 3 hours worth of streaming content that I've produced will know that I major in cybersecurity. I also play quite a bit of ice hockey. I play with the RIT team. Here's a picture on the screen now of me. This is the coolest picture I have of myself ever, so soak it in, it doesn't get better. I'm also going to Germany. I should like be flying out right as this video comes out, I think. And while I'm there, I hope to maybe make a vlog or some other video, which should be a lot of fun, but that is all the time I have for this time-lapse chat. So if I missed anything or there's anything else you want to know, leave it down in the comments and I'll respond to it in a video at some point. And there we have it. From this angle, it looks so good. And that was kind of the point. So in the time-lapse, if you're like, this is kind of strange, it looks a little bit weird, that was generally the intended purpose. I just noticed something that I forgot to put on there. That is, like, it's not the intended purpose, but it's just because I'm not B-dubs level of good at building. But the point was to make it look really good from far away, because I'm not gonna be up there. The point is for me to not be up there, but to be able to see it from down here. And I think I accomplished that really well. And I think even though it doesn't look stellar from up close, like I think I could have done a better job, I don't know how to. So we'll have to survive. And I thought I forgot these bits, but I didn't. I think I should replace some of these with trapdoors, just because you can't see it from all the way down here and it looks kind of flat. Just in that section there, it looks pretty flat. That's what I noticed before, but it's just that the signs don't load in from this far away. So we got to get some trapdoors and buttons and other things. And then this thing is a cool trapdoor thingy where I think it's this one. I think this one's going to be the closest to the mangrove one. And I really like how the mangrove one looks. Like, I really like the circle there. So yeah, let me place maybe this one, throw a trap. Ooh, never mind. Maybe I do it on one of the dark oak. See how that looks. That definitely looks better, but it's kinda uggo. Maybe we just do the pointless one. So let's throw this on here. What does it look like? It might be better on the dark oak. Why are these all so ugly? Why is the mangrove one so nice looking and all the other ones are hideous? Third try's the charm. I'm sure of it. And the third try is gonna just be the normal one. And I'm giving up. These will still look good. I can put it right on top of the spruce and it won't take too much away. It might even add stuff because currently we just have two spruce right next to each other, which isn't really the best. Yeah, that's just immediately better than all the other ones. And then I might just throw one here for the vibes. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think I like that. And I'm gonna also add it just to a couple of different places over here, just so that we get just a smidgen more depth or whatever. Just for anywhere that looks like it's missing a bit of depth. There is quite a bit of mangrove trapdoors on these two levels, so we're probably fine. And then I'm also, again, copying B-dubs for pretty much the whole thing. I am using his like lighting and shadow technique to just have contrast behind the lanterns and stuff, just to make it seem like they're shining light on the back wall here. And since we're going to be looking at it from down here most of the time, I had it so that this was like the perfect spot where all of the lights have shadows backwards and behind it in like this diagonal from this corner. And the same with the windows up here, where there's just like a slight extra bit of light on the edges of all of the windows. And I really think that is what ties this whole thing together. And for a not creative brain like myself, I think I did a very good job. And it's not as hard as you would think. Like if you're like, I could literally never do this. I'm not creative, really. I just can copy people. So if you can copy people, you can do this. And I think it looks really good. I think it looks great on the hill. Once we get the terraforming up next to the barn itself, it'll look super good. I think the very last thing we do in this episode is move this thing just over to the corner here. Scariest guy ever. Come over here. I'm okay if you blow up in the middle of the grass, but not near my build. There we go. So I think the last thing we do is just move this over to the corner here. Why does the mud Do Endermen pick up the mud? Is that what's happening to it? Because I swear I placed that. I have no idea. I genuinely don't remember is the issue. I'm saying this for the record. If anything moves, it's Enderman and not me, because I would never do that. I would never touch a build this beautiful. But I don't remember if it's an Enderman or not. So I can't know for sure. I gotta get rid of Enderman. They have to go. I need an Enderman ban. One thing that I super need to do is these big torches require diamonds, so they're kind of expensive, but these prevent mob spawning in like a 32 block radius around the torch. And what sword is that? Okay, I thought it was diamond. I need to stop these mobs spawning because apparently, one, Endermen are... I heard movement. I'm going insane. Apparently, Endermen are trying to kill me in real life. And just by moving blocks, they're not really doing anything real, like, specific. But that's basically killing me. And then there's so many creepers everywhere. Why are you here? Go away. There's another one there. Go away. So I need to go get a bunch of diamonds and get big torches. But yeah, let's move this whole thing over. It shouldn't take too long. We can also, actually, if we tear it apart, see how much stuff we have. Oh my god. The answer's a lot. I've been doing this for 4 hours. Thank goodness for backpacks as well. Look how much stuff is in this thing. It's so much. And, like, the inventory space I needed to build this thing was obnoxious. I would hate doing this in vanilla without a backpack. Why is there a sign out here? Did I break this and forget to pick it up? Probably. It seems on brand. So if I've done this correctly, this is the new spot. And we just got to dig this way until we can actually get there. This is now working in the new spot. I just have to bring this all the way up. Hope that a creeper doesn't spawn on top of me. I'm really worried about that last one. Ah, no creeper. Hooray. There we go. The belt is set up. I just have to run down one more time here and grab power and hooked up, connected, and working, which we love to see. But I also want to at least have like a proof of concept done for what we're doing with these items. So we have straw, wheat seeds, and rice. Straw, I'm just going to leave because it's probably just going to go straight in the train. Wheat and wheat seeds, well, actually wheat, I think we can probably send to somewhere else in the barn area here for like breeding sheep or something else. And then the wheat seeds we can actually compost. So let's start with the wheat seeds. I am going to just do a funnel with wheat and a hopper and a composter and another hopper. And for now, that'll be it because we don't have a floor. So then we can just do this and this should be dropping down and we'll soon get our first bit of bone meal. Well, hey, there it is. And this will just build up over time. We obviously don't need a boatload of bone meal right now, but it's good to have a passive source of it. Next, I want to real quick grab some sheep from the pen and bring them over to the barn area. I don't really have a good way to do this, so I think I'm just going to try to break this fence, have a few escape, and then replace it as quick as I can. Ah, nice. Okay. Now you sheep, come with me. I only need like 2 of you to survive. So I have 2 sheep now. I started out with like 8. So killing it so far. And I'm just going to come over here, lock you in a pen until the end of time, and you will hopefully make a baby. Fabulous. So now to bring the wheat over there. I'm not sure if I want to actually turn on the system yet, because I think maybe eventually I'll want to have a system to automatically breed them, like maybe a water wheel that just like pushes them around in a circle. That might be the best way to do it. I'm honestly not sure yet. So maybe we just make the plans for a pathway for wheat and have a belt that goes along here, stores it in another vault or something here, just for the time being until we get something going. So I'm just gonna put it at this height. I'll want this factory to have a lot of belts and mechanical things going around, so I don't want to hide it in the ground or anything like that. And I'm also not sure how far these belts can go. It is this far. Perfect. So if we just connect you up again, there we go. And then we can also grab another brass funnel, place it there with wheat, and now that's for wheat. And then for now, I'm just going to use a 2x2 volt on the end here and throw a brass funnel on the end of it. And the last thing we need to do is get this thing hooked up to power. And something that I haven't used at all are these encased chain drives. They're basically just a belt around a shaft, but they are maybe cheaper, maybe more expensive. I always have arrows in my face for no reason. But I think in this case, they'll look just like a little bit cooler So that's why I'm doing it, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it. So to do this, I actually took away this belt here, and I think we should just extend this one as far. No, stop, no, stop, no, stop, no, stop, no, stop. I forgot to, I had to break the funnel and I forgot to put wheat back. No, there we go. Wheat is now in there. And if we use these encased chain drives, we can connect those two, but not yet because we need to take all this stuff off this belt. And now we can put these down and it'll just work. Now, I think since we have so much rice in here still, it might be helpful to get a list filter and compost rice and seeds, because if we see what rice is made for here, it can be used for composting, or you could pack it into a bag of rice, which isn't really helpful, or you can make food with it, and that is really it. So for us right now, since we don't have any like full set of food thing automated yet, other than rice in a bowl, but I'm not doing that. It might just be best to compost it for now and just make this whole thing a little bit faster. And I think that'll actually be good. The list filter is set up with rice and wheat. I'm going to just skadoosh, and we should see, yeah, a boatload of rice falling in. We have 1,500 rice and about 1,000 straw. This is going to take a while, but we will get a boatload of bone meal. We already have a stack and 11. And with another 1,000 rice, we'll probably get up to 300 or so bone meal, which is a good start. For one, not having all the farm set up, and two, just like dumping rice into a little pot. So we take that for sure. Oh, and also the attempt at the mangrove thing with this tree farm did not work at all, because I don't think the mangrove saplings, the propagules, grow until after the tree spawns, and this thing goes around too quickly for it to actually work. So that was a bit of an L, but it at least farmed all 60 propagules for us. And okay, never mind. It didn't really do anything. But maybe if we need more mangrove, we can make a real farm for it. I know you can bone meal the propagules or the leaves, or do something with bone meal to get a bunch of propagules, and we can replenish it that way. But I think we just kind of got unlucky with the mangrove-ness. So I'm going to reset this back to the normal 4. Oh my god, wait. I forgot to switch this back for so many reasons. We actually have a lot of spruce and mangrove in here, and it's actually been despawning. Oh my god. Well, that means the tree farm will work. We just need constant supply of propagules, which is doable. So I'm going to start this bad boy back up. Spin. I'm going to start this bad boy back up, and then we can put stuff into it. Yeah, and we can see now everything that's going in. I was being a little bit silly. I'll give it that. Oops. I probably lost out on about 400 mangrove, but that's okay. We can get that all in a good hard day's in a bit of work. Okay, now we can fill this thing in with all the saplings that it needs, and easy peasy. There you go. Oh, now go. Yeah, and it's planting stuff. So eventually, let me switch you around and then remember to turn you back. But eventually this will work, and we'll get mangroves soon. But that is going to be all the time I have for today. We made a bunch of progress this episode, a bunch of building, a bunch of little other things, and hopefully next episode we are going to get a lot of diamonds, stop all the mobs, and maybe continue working on the farmhouse, and hopefully maybe get the automatic sheep farm set up. That could be fun, but that'll all be next episut. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this episode, be sure to like, and if you're here and you're not subscribed, do it. Subscribe. All right, peace.